Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of modded Minecraft. I am your host Chicat, and today with me is your second favorite host, Frog the Jam Unchained.
That's me, and we're not. We're just enough opinions.
Shut up.
Okay.
We are well, I guess we are just enough opinions. I guess we were
Yeah.
just enough opinions at the end of the day. The real just enough opinions were the friends we made along the way.
This intro is kind of silly.
Yeah, it is, but you know, which one wasn't?
Right.
So I guess
We have a guest today. We have a guest today, GCat.
Yeah. Holy shit! It's not like we have like a guest every second episode. That's like a thing we do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, we have a guest today because last time we didn't have a guest. Now we have a guest. You know how this works. I don't know. Should you introduce him, Frog? Because I'm not really in the MPT community. Well, I am in the MPT community, but I'm not that integrated as you are probably. I'm not.
I guess so.
I don't spend that much time.
I know Tilly's as the guest is Tilly's, and I know Tilly's technically as a person who starts many projects, but also as a person who's released more projects than I have, and I'm pretty sure more projects than GCat has technically. Therefore, He's better than both of us. Everyone welcome Tilly's. Yeah. He's a pack developer who develops Modpacks.
Hello.
Tilly's, you can introduce yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Tilly's. I have attempted to make over. Let me find the the exact. I have a list of every single pack I can remember I have tried to make.
Yeah.
And there's at least 38 of them.
Oh my goodness.
This is ridiculous.
That's a lot of packs.
I have released
like account, but for Modpacks.
Oh my goodness! No, not exactly.
I have released one of the pack.
Nice. Well, one is better than none.
Yeah, one is better, definitely. And it actually has shown me that I really should actually play with the mods before I actually try and make a mod pack with them. Because if I had actually gone through the plan of making that mod pack like a full progression pack instead of what it ended up being, then I would not have really enjoyed the final product as much as I would otherwise. Because I just don't really like Terraformacraft as much as I thought I did. It's a cool concept. Just not as fun as I thought it was going to be. Yeah,
and the project that you're talking about is your take on Terraformacraft, Tilly's Firmacraft.
Yeah, it's basically it ended up being like a polished Terraformacraft pack with like a lot of like mods designed to enhance the player's experience in there. So I think it turned out pretty well for what it was.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Nice.
That's sorry, I'm sick, so I had to mute myself because I was coughing. Oh goodness, that's gonna show up in the audio for the editor. Oh shit.
The editor's gonna love in this episode. So yeah, I'm guessing I haven't really kept up with your packs, but I'm guessing that that pack is the one that you made for the pack jam hosted by.
No, I did not make that pack for the pack jam. My pack jam mod pack was One Chance at Glory. It was basically a roguelike, which it's mostly done. It's just not really exactly quality enough to release. It's good, in my opinion, but it's like missing a lot of the polish that finished pack would want, and I really should remake it at some point. It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
But it needs some better balance and stuff.
I'm gonna find a lozenge. So I will be back. And by be back, I mean, technically I'm just moving my hand over to like another corner of my room. Okay, whatever. Sorry. I totally derailed everything. I remember being around because I also made a pack for the or made an unfinished pack for the pack jam. I remember One Chance at Glory. It was pretty. I also liked the concept. I know that there's at least one other. Oh shit! I'm gonna cough again.
This episode sucks.
Hey, look, it's not my fault that I'm sick. I'm gonna eat this cough
Fair,
drop.
fair. I'm sorry.
Sex sucks.
Yeah. No, thanks.
Sure.
Anyway, I know.
Can we start a podcast called Not Enough Sickness where you are
Oh
sick?
my god. I know. What was it? Is it trepidation? That tries to be like a roguelike or similar?
Yeah, that's I've heard of it.
Mm.
Yeah, the one
The
that's
one where you start in the
where you, like,
nether
on a
and then
timer, right?
go up through dimensions.
Yeah, where you have like a timer to escape. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was the pack inspired by that in any way, or is that just
Not really.
the
It's
same
kind of
genre?
so it's just the same genre. I probably could dig up like the whole thought process I had. Like, there might be enough on the Micropack Development Discord on like what I was doing around that time. But I'm not really. I don't really want to try right now. So basically, it was pretty separate. I think the pack was more based around movement and and combat rather than like the trepidation gameplay where you would like go through dimensions and stuff.
Yeah.
You would go to the nether and end because it was built on vanilla.
So could you go like more into detail? Can you like just explain the general concept behind the pack for the listeners?
I can explain. It's basically the pack is a roguelike where you basically you spawn like you have a bunch of. I added a bunch of cool movements. I had like wall jump and Alana. I need that dodge mod. The mod lets you dodge and stuff. And like aquatic acrobat, like the mod lets you swim and do 1.13 plus swimming and 1.12. Like all of there's like, and I think that's probably all that I really did for movement in the pack. And there's like, and I also added battle towers with customized the loot table. So that are the custom stuff like the artifacts from the artifacts mod, which definitely has improved on modern versions compared to 1.12. And basically, like the whole mechanic was got one life, you try to get as far towards beating the Ender Dragon as possible, but the balance was not really a difficulty curve exactly. It was more of like a straight line or like a downward, like it got easier near the end. Because in the early game you were having to deal with battle towers and stuff, tower golems and stuff, and all the mobs, and you had pretty bad gear until you could get good gear. That was kind of, it was like the balance was kind of skewed now that I think about it, because like once you get geared up, the only real challenge is probably the nether, because like the lava and running around trying to find a fortress for progression. And then possibly if you're taking the route where you'd go do the wither, then that is a bit of an issue too, because if you're not able to cheese it or do it quickly, it kills you.
I see. Well, you mentioned remaking your pack somewhere in the future. What do you think you would change? Because you only had like a week to make it, right?
I made it in 3 days. If I were to remake this pack in the future, I would definitely heavily rework a lot of the balance and progression. Like, first of all, I might try and attempt it on modern versions for Explorer's Compass to make the finding a fortress easier. But those are stuff I would probably do. I would just mainly polish the pack a lot more and actually make the balance go from the early game being the easiest part to the end game being the hardest part.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I actually have a progressive, probably not a mod, but just in general. And I might have, if there's like a mod that makes it so, I think there's a mod on 1.12 that makes it so mobs get stronger over time.
Could it be scaling
I
health, or
think
is that
there
different?
I does not really matter what the name of the mod is right now. If I could like make that like it so it makes it so you want to get through the game as fast as possible because mob health scales quickly. Like if like a few hours, like I don't know like how fast it would scale. That'd probably require me to do playtesting on the actual pack, but that's probably something that would be nice for the pack.
No, that sounds actually like really cool. The idea of making the mob
Yeah,
scale
that sounds fun.
really hard, really fast.
I don't really know if and when I'm gonna end up making it, but yeah.
Well, I guess that goes show that, sometimes revisiting your, drawing different gems is a good idea. And then, when you have more time to revisit those ideas, you would already know what to do and what you want to change. I think that's a valuable Modpack experience that you can have. Listeners at home, if you want to try, go ahead. I don't know if any, pack gems are happening right now, but if there are any, join them. Maybe that will, increase your experience as a pack dev. And I guess we haven't, really introduced what the pack gem was, but it happened a while ago. It was on MPT. It was hosted by Uni, one of the great friends of the podcast and great friend of the modern Modpacks, and there's just in general all of us. So yeah, that was quite a while ago. Frog also participated in that. I couldn't participate because I was, busy with my packs. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure Uni's not even in this server.
He's not, but just in spirit, he is a great friend of this podcast.
Goodness.
Yeah, and when Uni finally finishes all of his essays, because that was one of the points behind that pack gem, that he will rate every pack that's submitted and make an essay for each one of them. He will probably release all the packs to the public, so you can go check them out as well.
Also,
sometime, hopefully.
I'm pretty sure Uni goes by she, her now. As well.
Sorry. Yeah, she, her.
This is what goes to show that GCAT has not been paying any attention. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like vibing out. I kind of started vibing out of all the MPT stuff recently. So
anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. I know one of the things that clearly it's pretty obvious now. I was gonna say that even though the only pack you've released so far is Tilly's Firmacraft, I wanted to make sure people knew that you weren't just a Terra Firmacraft pack dev, that you've explored many different avenues of stuff. But I guess you just talked about how you made a 1.12 pack based on battle towers and stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know. I guess. Do you have any particular takes on like 1.12 versus modern? I guess in terms of,
My take on versions is that they're for the most part all good for different reasons. I will.
So centrist.
If I am asked to play 1.12, I will play 1.12. If I'm asked to play 1.20, I will play 1.20. Like legitimately, I don't really care too much about the version. But I definitely prefer post Cave Up by Date modern versions and 1.12 to most other versions.
That was specifically a jab towards me because I develop in between these versions.
It's not specifically a jab towards you. I just don't really like the 1.16 as much as I like post Cave Up by modern versions.
Oh, that's fair. I like RT1 32211.
Oh my goodness.
SMC for life.
What was I gonna say? GCAT and I have talked about versions a lot before.
Well, that's one of the most brought up topics among pack developers in general.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I know that you you've done more 112 than I have, at least recently, because I think once I started pack developing on 1.16 and up, I just kind of have not returned to developing for 112 in a long time. And I'm a lot more used to the tools that are on modern. But
I personally think a lot of the new stuff, like the stuff with Cube.js, is really nice.
Yeah.
It's not that hard compared to 1.12 Craft Tweaker. So I just use it when I dev modern, which I've been doing a lot more recently.
Yeah.
Which, like, if we look at the after the Tilly's Pack Golden Age, where there's stuff like Outer Limits, Worlds Beyond the Stars, and other classics like Penguin Pack. I think we have like, so there's so a lot of there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modern packs. Compared, though that's like nowhere near as many as the 1.12 packs. It's still pretty good considering I only really started doing modern dev pretty late into my pack deving on the server. Pretty recently in general. It's like I don't remember when like my first modern pack was started. Not in any way finished. It doesn't even have 1 chapter of progression.
Oh man.
Yep.
Goodness.
Like most of these modern packs, quite a few of these packs fell through before even getting their first chapter. Probably because I often end up overhauling the early game and some of my, especially my 1.12 packs. Pattern that started back in my first pack that I worked on MPD, which was called Fires of Thaumaturgy, which was a pack built around Embers and Thaumcraft that never got really past its first chapter. I don't know if the first chapter was playable, but it had Pyrotech.
Oh yeah. Now you don't really like Pyrotech now, right? Is that what you?
It's good as like if I'm going to use it, I'm probably removing literally everything except the machines.
I see.
I would rather have better control over the early game, and I used to basically throw it in a pack, put quests, and call it a day, which is really bad idea. I did actually like change the kiln recipes so they were quicker and had no failure chance. Because 8-minute recipes with 33% failure chance, like probably per an item, is painful.
Oh yeah. I have not played much with Pyrotech, but that sounds like shit. That sounds like garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I play a lot of GregTech, but still, I hate grind.
I also prefer better with mods overall as like a general overhaul, even though I don't want to play that vanilla without also doing the same treatment as Pyrotech, where I remove literally everything except the machines.
Yeah.
I do at some point, if I'm going to dev 1.12 again, I'm probably going to try and do that in a pack where I remove everything but the machines for both, and then try and do custom progression for the early game. Just like, or even like make that the whole pack or something. I don't
know. Yeah.
So I guess just quick 1.12 question. I assume from what you've said that you prefer Craft Tweaker. And I assume you have never tried GroovyScript, but can you confirm that?
I've not tried GroovyScript yet.
Do you want to?
Not really. Craft Trigger works, and I'm fine with that. New PC loads the packs faster, so it kind of removes a lot of the issues with a bit of the issue with 1.12 with Craft Trigger.
Oh man. You know what I'm thinking about now is the old days, and by the old days I mean when I was developing 1.12. Did they have reload yet? They put that in. There's like a mod that allows you to reload Craft Tweaker scripts or something. But that was after
Oh yeah, you
my
can't
time
reload. You can't
with
reload without an add-on,
1.12.
as far as I remember.
I have barely done 1.12 packs, and like I have in like the past, I don't know, like past cycle of like time of pack debbing, I've like only really made like 1 or 2 packs on 1.12. One of them is very very unfinished and like all it had was like a custom materials system using Content Tweaker I could use to register ingots and stuff. And the other was a pack entirely designed by ChatGPT for some reason.
Yeah, I remember that. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. It's one of the packs of all time for sure, and it had a really silly end to the pack's development and existence. And if the AI pack gets brought up again, I will talk about that because it's just kind of a funny way for a pack to end.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. So I guess I'm just going to do a follow-up question to Frogs for those 2 or 3. How many you've listed packs that you've done for 1.12 in recent times? Have you used that add-on that allows for reloading craft trigger scripts?
I have not actually tried it yet.
So do you think the inability to reload craft trigger scripts is what influenced, your reputation as a person who starts out of packs but doesn't finish them? Because
No.
you get tired of always rebooting the game.
No, that's not it. Even with my modern packs, that they have fallen to the same problem.
Damn.
And several non-Minecraft related projects have fallen to that.
Yeah. I mean, goodness, So I know that you have that reputation, Tillies, but I wanted to say, like, it's tough. I don't think it happens to me as much as it seems to happen to you, but I definitely get into that. I definitely get that thing where it's like, oh yeah, I'm working on a project, but then the project, like the motivation just kind of peters out or something, or something else that looks much better just comes into my view, and it's like, oh well, I should go do that instead. And you kind of leave a path of unfinished projects behind you.
Yeah, that is my problem. It
Yeah,
doesn't really matter
I
too much to me because it doesn't really matter much to me because I'm having fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was also gonna say, as long
That's
as
fair.
GCat, you can remember what you're going to say.
I remember what I want to say.
Okay,
So go ahead.
I was gonna say that this is kind of related to something that I said to you in MPD Tillies. It was I feel like even if you don't end up finishing all the projects, you generally tend to gain a bunch of all the experience from them. And the thing that I was talking about that was related is when I was talking about how you had the telephone pack gem and you made those gemstone tool sprites. And I was a big fan of those, and I suggested to you, like, maybe if you're able to make a sprite for each, not like you go back and make sprites for all the projects that you haven't finished before, but when you start projects and continuing, you can, make sprites for those, and then even if you don't finish those projects, you can have those pieces of stuff. I mean, maybe you could even do it with, snippets of Cube.js or Craft Tweaker stuff that you could use later. So instead of just leaving a path, you also build stuff upon it.
I have used the exact same Craft Tweaker item nuker script, and probably most of my 1.12 packs past Outer Limits Worlds Beyond the Stars.
Nice. That's good.
It works, so there's no reason to make a new one.
Yeah. Anyway, GCat, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember what I want to say.
Okay, good.
I just
forget it now.
I kind of got distracted. No, I remember what I want to say. I just shut up. Stop talking over me. I know what I want to say. I just want to say that reusing scripts for different packs is also what not what Modern Modpacks has been doing, but one of our projects, Kitsch's PKJ, is actually inspired by that idea, and we allow people to share scripts between packs easily. That's not an ad. I just want to mention that, that's a normal thing to do, and we always steal a code sometimes, and sometimes we steal our own code, so that increases our efficiency as developers, I think. But what I want to say is that, me and Tilly are kind of the opposites, where Tilly starts a lot of projects and doesn't, work on them for that long. I keep sitting on one fucking project and, working for decades. And Frog is kind of, in the middle of us, where he, doesn't have a lot of projects, but has a couple of them and also works on them for a medium period of time. But, the thing that unites all of us is that we cannot finish bugs for the life of us. So.
Yeah, that's the important thing. None of us has anything done, except Tilly's has Tilly's Firmacraft. So Tilly's, this is what I was talking about before. Yay. Tilly's wins.
Yes, Tilly's wins this podcast.
Futuristic astronomy tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Futuristic astronomy tomorrow. I think I haven't told the story, but futuristic astronomy is gonna have voice acting. I think I've said that before. I've grabbed a lot of my acquaintances from this community and politely asked them to voice a couple of lines for us, and we had like a casting sort of situation. We had like a DM group where everyone had to read a short template phrase, and then I guess Rainbow as well. Well, he's not part of the team nowadays, but back in the day, a couple of people from the team were listening to those example phrases that the voice actor said. And the first thing I asked all of them to say and record was, I think it was futuristic astronomy coming out this decade. This phrase. I don't know how that's related. But,
futuristic astronomy coming out this decade.
That's a bold assumption, to be honest. Yes. There's like 5 years left.
Futuristic astronomy coming out this century.
Yeah, that's possible.
That's more like it, yeah. Maybe this era, this eon. That's more likely.
Futuristic astronomy coming out this universe.
Imagine humanity develops futuristic astronomy, as in the concept, before futuristic astronomy, the mod pack comes out.
Sure, that's gonna be old astronomy by then. Ancient astronomy.
Like your cyborg remains on Mars typing away the goddamn Cube.js script and finally being like, aha! I've finally completed futuristic astronomy, as like there are spaceships, en route to Andromeda or something, and you're just like, I've finished the little block game.
I'll probably just finish the first 2 stages by then. Probably the only thing that will come out by then is the first tester beta, hopefully.
Oh man.
This sounds legendary.
But realistically, I hope I'm making steady progress nowadays. So I hope it will come out.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of years before that. So.
Here's a fun fact for me relating to the projects that I've been doing in terms of modded Minecraft. I don't know if I've said this before, but right now I'm in a class in college, and it's kind of like, it's called Psychology of Leadership, and I don't know if I've said that.
Yeah, I think you've described your, the last episode was like, had like you describe a day in your life. Remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Well, anyway, this class is there's Psychology of Leadership, and it's more like a self-development class, and it's less about maybe like strong leaders and what their psychology was, and more like, what's the psychology, what are, psychological things we can learn about ourselves to become better leaders. And one of the things was like, what are things that we can improve and work on, and in particular, the idea of something like goal setting and making progress in our own ways was one of the projects that we had to do. So I was like, oh, you know what I can do? I can be like, this is my project. My project is I'm going to work on my mod pack. So technically, each time I work on my mod pack, I'm doing something for school too.
How the fuck do announce to a teacher that you're going to do something like this?
I don't
Hi,
know.
Mr. Whatever. I'm going to like work on this mod pack thing. Modpacks. Minecraft. Your son
Yeah, I
probably
don't-
plays this game, but
It's like a niche of a niche of a niche. So if I were to
Yeah.
actually try to explain everything I'm doing, it would probably be pretty tough. But so far I've been allowed to be pretty vague about it.
Yeah, that's like a thing I've also thought about. Like, I don't know how to introduce myself to people. Like, no, I know how to introduce myself to people, but usually it doesn't have anything to do with me developing Minecraft modpacks, because it's like one of the things I do. I have a lot of other things I do that I'm more proud of, and I like announcing to people more than saying that I'm a loser that plays Minecraft
Oh my goodness.
for hours a day, but not plays it, but just write some shitty code to make it do a thing. I usually, if I have to introduce these things I do in this community to people who aren't in this community, I usually just say that I'm a game developer. That's
Yeah.
probably the easiest way to put it,
Yeah.
without going into all the detail.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time where we were like, I don't feel like it's. Personally, I don't feel like game developer. I feel like game developer is a really strong word for what we do, but it's also probably the closest analog.
Yeah, because I cannot imagine another word I can use to describe what I do to people who aren't familiar with modded Minecraft, or even just like Minecraft in general. It's just
I mean, I guess there's mod developer,
Same.
but I know that then we get into the semantics of mods versus mod packs and stuff.
yeah. What the hell are mods? Like you can understand. Not all people know what mods are.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I can say I'm a programmer, but when I introduce myself as a programmer, I usually showcase other stuff that I do, not futuristic astronomy.
Yeah. Like if I were to introduce myself as a programmer, and someone would be like, "Oh yeah, the kernel and the off by one errors," and I'd be like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I mean, I know about off by one errors, but like, all this other shit that people who are in tech know about, and I don't, because I'm the loser who sits around making mod packs. I don't know this stuff,
That's the thing. I'm just gonna flex on you, but for me, when I introduce myself as a programmer, I would probably answer all of the questions, because I also do like real programming, not loser programming, not
Yeah.
Minecraft pack development.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Sorry, Tillies, if we've been talking while you've been sitting around.
It's fine. It's fine.
Tilis, how do you introduce yourself when people ask what you do?
I don't really, I don't really talk to people outside of the Minecraft community about Minecraft. I do sometimes.
Yeah, fair.
But I don't really have a usual way to introduce myself.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, fair. That also depends on the situation, who you're talking to.
I think this was when I was talking about it in my class. It was one of the first times I really did it myself. Introduce myself as some person who does this thing that's kind of like game development and kind of like mod development, but also not really exactly. And it also has Minecraft in it. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, Tilly's, when you were like, "Oh, I don't usually talk about," I was thinking like, "Oh, it's a dark, deep secret that nobody ever knows about." You're like, you gotta hide it from your family that you do pack development.
My family definitely knows I do mod pack development.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, sorry.
And they know. I've explained it at least once in the past.
Oh my goodness.
At least
I
partially, just the basics. It's like I don't really have to get into the details of Cube.js or CraftWeek or anything if I'm explaining what a mod pack is.
yeah. I am
Yeah, true.
very funny. My mom just before I started recording, I came in to be like, "Hey, let's record the podcast now." Or well, technically, 42 minutes before that happened because GCat was 42 minutes late.
I was playing Phasmophobia. It's so
yeah,
fun.
no, it's fine.
It's fine.
I'm being goofy. My mom was like, "Oh, so in Minecraft, so there are evil guys that try to attack you, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there are mobs." And she's like, "Are there any happy-go-lucky places where kids can play without being attacked by evil guys?" I'd be like, "I mean, you could play on peaceful difficulty, or you could light up your base because mobs only spawn under a certain light level." It's it was very
Yeah,
funny.
if you continue that conversation, I'm like 90% sure that your mom would at some point have a stroke at all of the, terms that
Yeah,
you would
and
have to explain
I
to
was
her.
also only describing vanilla too, because I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh yeah,
sure.
my podcast it's about modded Minecraft," and she's like, "Oh yeah, do they have? How much does it like? Do you pay once and then you get it forever?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think it's $30." She's like, "Do they have microtransactions?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, the Bedrock Edition has microtransactions." Uh,
What's Bedrock Edition then?
oh my goodness!
Oh,
And
How do you not get it, mom? The Java edition is made in Java, and the Bedrock edition is made in Bedrock. Duh.
oh my goodness! Anyway, no, it was. I mean,
it's my favorite programming language.
I think I
Yeah.
made that
Bedrock.
joke before. It's not original.
I don't know. It was funny. Actually, I know this was a topic that we were thinking of bringing up, but I know Tilly, you might have some opinions on it. In fact, you might have just enough opinions on it.
Nice, that was a
I
nice
probably
one.
have roughly enough opinions on it.
But you probably have roughly
Oh,
enough
yeah.
opinions.
I may have even more opinions
Even
than you
more.
think. I
I have
certainly don't
like a
have not enough opinions.
moderate number of opinions.
Anyway, no.
I have
Speaking of
like
vanilla,
somewhere
we were
between,
thinking about.
too much and too little.
Sorry, GK. What were you saying?
I was saying that I have like somewhere numbers that you can describe as somewhere in between too much and too little opinions.
Yeah.
By the way, that definition is also the name of our sister podcast. Go check it out.
Yeah, our sister podcast.
Somewhere in between too much and too little opinions.
Yeah, something like that, or too many and too few opinions. Regardless, the Minecraft Live, March 2025, Minecraft Live. I was not there when there was a watch party on MPD. I'm pretty sure,
It was a
but
watch party on PD.
the Minecraft Live happened. Did anybody have any opinions on it?
I've already described what I think of it in admin chats, but I'm not that positive about it. I'm not really disappointed in the Minecraft Live itself, but just in general in the state of vanilla as of 2025, I think. But yeah, Minecraft Live. I didn't particularly like that it was 23 minutes long, to be honest. Well,
So what we're hearing
about
here,
20,
folks,
27.
is that GCat, if there was like a ghost that lived in hell, and GCat found like a sad version of that ghost and took it back into the real world so that the ghost could be happy, then GCat would probably instead pick that sad ghost because GCat hates sad ghosts and
That
happy
was
ghosts.
such a long analogy. You could have just said that Jigat hates happy ghosts. Like,
Yes, GCat hates
bro,
happy
everyone
gas and
bro, everyone like watched Minecraft Live. It's not like you don't have to describe what happened.
all right, whatever. Tillies, did you have any particular thoughts about it?
It definitely feels like a mod.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely I'd say that.
It feels no, we're beyond that stage. I think I've talked about that. I know on this podcast or just in general, but all versions since 1.17 and more so or after 1.19 do feel like mods, which I think we can agree on. But this watching this Minecraft Live or a recap of it, because I didn't watch the Minecraft Live itself because I had better shit to do. But watching a recap of Minecraft Live 2025, I just felt like it's like they took some fucking Bedrock Edition add-on and just added it as like a feature. I know that's the first thing I've thought of when seeing the new features.
Vibrant visuals is going to be cool when it comes to Java.
What did you say was gonna be cool?
Vibrant visuals.
Oh,
the,
vibrant
built-in
visuals.
shaders.
Vibrant
Yeah.
visuals, yeah.
The pixel
I don't.
consistent shadows are cool.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I was thinking like, oh, it might be just like regular shaders. We already have those, but then I saw those, like the pixel stuff, and that was really impressive to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the only part that was kind of interesting out of the whole fucking presentation. But how do they work? I don't know. They didn't, go in detail in the recap because, I only watched the recap. Is it like a setting that you can enable, or is it like a built-in shader or whatever?
I think it's technically both because it's a setting where it's like it is a built-in shader, but you go into the settings
Well,
menu
yeah,
to
yeah.
change it.
Well,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Little known fact that actually, built-in shaders have been around in Minecraft since I think 1.13, and the fabulous graphic setting actually enables a shader. That's the thing I learned while making my first shaders for Minecraft.
Oh, really?
So yeah, that's nothing new really, but I assume that's gonna be like a new graphics level that you can enable, which will
Well,
enhance the visuals even further.
Here's a little gamer fact for you. As far as I remember, they might have had. Actually, I don't know if those count as shaders, but I think they had shaders since 1.7 with the super secret
The
settings.
ones that, yeah, super secret, and also if you go into spectator and I don't know how they call it, but you
view from like a creeper, Enderman,
yeah,
or spider's eyes.
you left click on a right click whatever on a mob, and then you become I don't fucking know how to call it, but you
You
take control
steal
of
their
them, not
soul,
take control of them,
right?
but
You
yeah,
enter their
something like
body.
You
that.
only see
Simple
through the
flow.
mob's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't control them. But when you do that, a couple of mobs have special Easter eggs. Creeper has one, I think Spider, Enderman probably also has one. Those are shaders. I can confirm as a big shader head nowadays.
Yes, GCat's a shader head.
Yeah, I've looked into that, and those are shaders, but that's technically just an Easter egg. Sometimes the shit. I think Notch added those, right? When they were Notch was still the developer. So I just think about he added fucking built-in shader support just for an Easter egg. That's so funny.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna talk
Based, I
about.
guess.
I feel like so I'm kind of optimistic in the sense that I don't think it's gonna ruin the game. Yeah, I don't think any of the features are gonna
Holy
ruin the
shit.
game. I was gonna say I don't think the game's gonna be ruined
Oh, I know.
by any of the new things.
Sorry, I've just come up with an analogy. Deforestation
Yes.
somewhere in Australia or whatever, that's not gonna hurt me. But that's not gonna ruin my life. But it still sucks.
It does still suck, but I don't think deforestation in Australia is akin to Minecraft's updates, having some changes that I
Sucking.
may or may not agree with. I think what I'm
Fucking
thinking, I
sucking.
guess, is a pessimistic take. I think might be things that I'm keeping in mind to try to keep myself in terms of like, these are things that might happen. Is I know they said it on they actually said it when they went. There was like a blog post regarding vibrant visuals, and in the blog post they discussed how they wanted to make sure that they were doing it in a way that was friendly to some degree to modders, in the sense that
Bullshit.
like
That's
in the sense
bullshit
like
though,
they
because
oh my goodness.
Up-
They
no,
they
update Threadmill.
oh my goodness.
That's the thing that we had for I don't know how many like 3 years at this point since 1.19. That's not friendly to modders at all.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about just the fact that they dropped the word modders. You know, it makes me feel better about this idea, but the idea is that
They dropped it like a slur.
they just
Modders.
oh my god. I'm sorry. The idea that they dropped the word modders, I mean dropped as in like name dropped. You know, they didn't name drop anybody, but they dropped the word modders, so it makes me think you know, maybe this won't come into fruition. But you know, there's a thing about vanilla having like a sort of hegemony over things sometimes, right? So like a thing that I've talked about before actually is create earlier on it had copper ore. And the thing about its copper ore is if the copper ore was exposed to the air, kind of like the copper that's in Minecraft now, it would oxidize. And so that was, you know, a cool enough concept. And when they added copper ore to Minecraft, like, you know, the regular copper ore, then the space for innovation by modders was gone because they added the ore to regular Minecraft in like 1.17. And I don't cry too much because, you know, the copper ore doesn't oxidize the way that it did with creates in 1.16 or something. But, you know, there's a worry to some degree, I think, where maybe like if they make it, this is probably not going to happen, but if somehow they fuck up the engine, the visuals and stuff, to the point where vibrant visuals becomes the only possible shader or something, again, that's like a totally out there idea, but you know, if something similar to that happens, then there might be something dangerous in that idea. And I totally forget where I was going with that.
I have like a different take, but you know, in my opinion, I think I don't know, when modding is trying to be modder friendly, it always ends up in some bullshit happening. Like, you know, um, as you probably going with your example of copper ore, that didn't satisfy neither modders or vanilla players, because vanilla players just got mad that they had copper that doesn't fucking do anything except give you like that fucking eyeglass
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, and you know modders from their side, they're just like, why do we need this? We already have like unification tools. We already have all this bullshit that we've developed for
Yeah.
so long. Why do we need like a dedicated copper ore? And so it pissed off, like not pissed off, but didn't satisfy both sides.
Mhm.
Neither vanilla players nor modded players really like the change, and like it's just now in the game. It's like just hanging around, not doing much. And like, I guess it's useful for whatever chambers now, right? You
Trial
use
chambers,
copper
yeah.
to like unlock chambers, yeah. But it was added. I guess I don't see another reason why they added it except for to support modders, and it didn't really serve its purpose.
Well, I feel like definitely. Well, one thing to keep in mind is, although there might be a dichotomy between like modded players and people who do mods and stuff, and vanilla players is like a far bigger portion of the audience. Um, uh, but this kind of goes to another thing that I was thinking about, which was kind of like, if they add something, they tend not to take it away, right?
That's fair, yeah, but that sometimes leads to no, They do add stuff and they take it away. But when they do that in snapshots and they take away the stuff that people actually like. Remember when they added the fucking zero tick or whatever it's called, zero tick crafters
Yeah, the
and
copper bulb
copper
thing.
lamps, and then took that away? You know, sometimes I feel like, Mojang just doesn't know what the fuck was going on. What the fuck is going on in the community? It's just like come up with stuff and then one tick. Thank you, Omega Cube. One tick copper bulb was one tick. They just add stuff, people like it, and then Mojang, not aware of any of the feedback, they just go like, this feature kind of sucks. We don't like it. Let's just remove it, and they just add bullshit that nobody needs, like copper.
I don't know. I mean,
So what I'm saying is, copper bad, copper bulbs good.
sorry.
Hmm.
What's up, Tilly? Sorry, I got distracted. Do you have feelings on the copper bulb, Tilly's?
Not really. I don't do too much technical vanilla stuff.
Yeah. What I was really thinking about, sorry, with regard to the adding stuff and not taking it away is, as the versions continue forward, you just kind of get to a point where you have the base game, at least as of a couple versions ago, and then there's a bunch of fluff on top of it, right? And they're not going to take away the fluff, even if they have a bunch of like back-end changes or whatever that make it worthwhile to be on the current version. I don't know, it's hard to please everybody, and I know that we're not the major target audience and stuff, but
I just thought of another example. Yeah, by the way, Megan Cubed, again corrected me in the chat. Yeah, copper bulb was changed because of Bedrock compatibility, but that does change my point. Still, they could have made Bedrock compatible with Java instead of the other way around. Another example I've thought of, them taking away changes that people actually like, and for some reason not, taking away changes that nobody actually uses, is fireflies. Remember when we promised fireflies, even though they were 2 pixels, people, the community got attached to them, and then they just fucking took them away because, I don't know, bullshit.
They only gave us one of the pixels.
Yeah, sure, yeah, they did.
Where's
Yeah,
the
I
other
think
pixel, Mojang?
oh my goodness.
You will have to wait for Caves and Cliffs part 67 for that.
Caves and Cliffs part 67.
Oh man.
Amazing.
Because that's all.
Nether
That's,
Firefly Bush, and it's just the
Nether
other pixel.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because that's everything updates are now, right? Just Caves and Cliffs parts, whatever.
Oh my.
I forgot
The
that it's
update
just
was
Caves
so
and Cliffs.
big they had to split into 5 parts.
Caves and Cliffs 76.
Yeah.
Chat.
Anyway, no. Sorry, Tillies. I feel like I might have been talking and totally not like forgetting that you were there, but might have been neglecting you. Do you have any particular thoughts about this stuff? Like not just the copper bulb stuff.
Like just in general, vanilla and like Mojang taking features away.
Vanilla, maybe not necessarily Mojang taking features away, but also just like Mojang, like the state of the game. And for me, what I was thinking about is the fact that Mojang's not going to take some of the features away when it comes to something like, I don't know, polar bears. It's like it's fine that it's there, but if you want to play a game that didn't have polar bears, but you still want all the modern features, you're gonna have to end up playing a game that has the polar bears in it, even if the polar bears don't do very much for you. You know?
Yeah, I
Um,
mostly play modded at this point.
yeah, I think GCAT and I also pretty much only play modded compared to
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, I think a couple of episodes ago, is that XKCD, where they like, everybody knows like formulas for quartz and whatever. You know what one? Where like, you know the one I'm talking about.
I think I know the one that you're talking about, but
yeah, editor, put it on screen again.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
that's
would be
us.
like, well, everybody knows the phytogenic insulator, right? Oh, they obviously know about the quantum entangler porter. and maybe a few
Yeah,
machine frame recipes.
I have at least one machine frame recipe memorized.
Yeah.
Nice.
Technically, I have multiple Great tiers of machine frame memorized.
Oh my goodness.
But that's not important.
Nice.
But they're all super simple.
Oh yeah, those are the ones.
They're all 8 plates, a wrench or hammer, and then you take that whole that thing, and then you put some wires and some plates with it.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
at least that's
important.
what I remember about how they are made.
That's an important piece of knowledge. Maybe, when you're applying for a job and they, ask what's the LV recipe for Ecoper. What the fuck am I saying? What's the recipe for the LV machine hole in GregTech? And you're like, I know this one. And then
they're gonna ask, what's the recipe for a GTNH Stargate first?
Oh my god.
Yeah, true. And then you have to explain each step.
I don't even know one step.
Oh man.
I think the last one requires there's like a liquid that looks like space. I don't know.
Liquid that looks like space.
The only liquid that looks like space I know of is the one from Divine Journey 2.
The Astral. I think it's from Astral Sorcery. That's.
I know it's not from Astral Sorcery. And the one I'm thinking of is not from Astral Sorcery. It's from Content Tweaker.
Oh, is it
maybe alright?
Akin to something from? Is it like molten star metal or something?
It's like part of the end game.
So I guess I just want to say that closing off the theme about Mojang and Minecraft life in general. This episode continues the great tradition of adding one more group of people that we don't like on this podcast. This time it's Mojang developers.
Yeah, not just vanilla players, but vanilla makers. Boo!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Boo! Kill them with rocks.
Oh my goodness!
Can't wait for us to add ourselves to that list. That will
it was important. I almost forgot. In the Minecraft Live, there was a shot, and Jack Black was in there. He was
Yeah, that's foreshadowing how he's going to come to our podcast.
Yeah. No,
Jack Black on Just Enough Opinions.
Yeah.
Davey promised to invite him.
Yeah, he promised both of us individually, personally, that he'd be on the Just Enough Opinions podcast as soon as possible.
Yeah.
It turns out I had not enough opinions on vanilla.
What?
I'm sorry, I already used that joke.
Oh my goodness.
That's really random timing. I just really like trying to make recipe viewers into Just Enough Opinions.
That's fine. That's good.
It's
a very fun, goofy joke. You know what's fun and goofy actually? I'm gonna bond with Tilly's over our love for Emotica.
Emotica.
He's great.
Scammed
board. Yeah. Anyway. There's the I'm pretty sure our editor at some point will be able to put all the skimmed boards I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. Skimmed board. Emotica is great. I'm glad that Tilly's enjoys Emotica. One time I was just on MPD and Tilly's was like, hey, you should send me your Emotica GIFs, graphics interchange formats. And I was like, okay, I will. And so I posted a bunch of them.
I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 favorited.
Good.
Nice. I like Emotica, I like White Pharaoh, I like all the emotes we have on here.
Pharaoh Fire Casino.
Oh man, the casino. I don't even know. I think we talked about the history on like episode 6 or something. Oh man, fun fact that's totally unrelated to utilities, but GCat and I, we were like, so we were, what's episode 6 about? We totally forgot what it was about.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it was like
We
last
asked
night
our
or
editor a lot
something
for
like
some
that.
reason. Yeah, we had like collective dementia. We're currently in the process of editing episode 6. As you can, well, not we, our editor. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks,
Sorry
editor.
for taking all the, all the credit. Thanks, Akoto. So yeah, for the listeners on YouTube, as you can see, this is episode whatever 9.
Yeah, I
It's
think this
episode
is 9.
Holy shit, we've been doing this for far too long. This is episode 9, and
This is
our
episode.
editor is currently
Wait, what episode is that?
I think this
It's
is
episode
episode 9.
This is
Yeah.
like 7, I think.
7. We already recorded 2 episodes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's what I was saying. That we already recorded 2 episodes. As you can see, 6 and 9 have like 2 episodes in between them, and as you can see, it takes quite a long time to edit those.
Yeah,
So maybe show some love to our editor down in the comments.
yeah.
'Cause he's a goat.
By the way, I think I've said this many times, but I only say it many times because it's true. Thank goodness for our editor, because if it weren't for our editor, then we probably would have given up at this point. Because
sure.
editing, at least for those who have edited before, which is not me, apparently is a huge slog.
Which is me. I hate editing. If our editor wasn't here, I would have to edit those episodes, and that would mean that I had less time to work on FA, and that would probably mean that FA wouldn't come out this decade, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
And I would have to somehow explain that to our voice actors why they had to announce that line, whereas that wasn't really true.
Yeah. Anyway. Do we have anything
We're
else?
going to have like a... No, I probably shouldn't mention this. I just want to say that, No, I'm not going to mention this. We have like a couple of characters for FA, and there are some funny ones with funny voices. And I forced a great friend of the Modern Modpacks organization, who was actually part of Modern Modpacks, but not anymore. He's just a voice actor now, to voice a character who is canonically a femboy.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why I brought up this fact, but I think it's kind of funny.
GCat forced someone to voice act a femboy.
Yeah, I think that's what the kids nowadays call force femming.
I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
No, that's absolutely the definition of that word.
Anyway,
We should move on from that. I love this podcast. So what else is there to discuss? Tilly's, what's favorite mod pack that you've developed?
Oh, that's actually exactly what I was gonna ask. That's funny.
I don't actually know.
What was your favorite pack dev experience?
I also don't really know.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Tilly's
thinking
hates
whether or
pack
not I have
deving.
a favorite for my own one.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be that's what we'll ask when you come as a guest on this podcast.
Oh yeah, I'll do that when I'm a guest. Yeah. Tilly's, have I asked
Tilly's,
you
what's your
before?
favorite mod? Well, okay, go.
Are you
ahead,
asking
go ahead.
what Tilly's favorite mod pack is that wasn't made by Tilly's?
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Do you have a favorite mod pack, Tilly's?
I know, like, okay, there's kind of 2 contenders for this, and I had beaten neither of them.
Well, that's
Divine Journey
normal.
2 is one of them. It was fun to play. I originally played it with a friend. It was quite fun. I started playing on that with a friend, like, I think around like chapter 12 or 13 on the playthrough. That's when I joined. And I ended up also doing a solo playthrough at some point that never really got past like the first couple chapters. And the other, and it's mostly because of nostalgia, and it's what introduced me to watch Threefold. But there's also E9E, which apart from a few things I do not like about it,
we have another
it was really
great
good.
fan of E9E in this recording studio today.
The main thing, apart from like Nature's Aura and and Bumble Zone, it was quite a fun pack.
Ooh, yeah, E9E. I'm a fan of E9E. Honestly, I feel like. Oh, continue.
It's definitely a source of inspiration for those two are definitely a source of inspiration for some of my packs.
Yeah, I know E90 is a big source of inspiration for me. I feel like I've just kind of put my like I look at E90 with really rose tinted glasses or something because I think when I went to the Bumble Zone, I also had to like trudge through miles and miles of honey just to get over to the Queen's throne pillar or something, which is similar to what you had issues with, right, Tilly's?
Yeah, I couldn't go. I could not get through find the compass in the cell maze. I had to end up cheating.
Yeah. No, I feel like the Bumble Zone is a interesting dimension, but I don't know. I remember it was like a little bit of a slog. Um, but just for me, the rest of the pack was so peak, as they say, that I guess when I think about it now, I just kind of ignore it. Um, but
So Frog, when you like, just a hypothetical, say like you meet a new person,
yes,
how much time would it take to mention that your favorite pack is Inane?
it's the first thing I say usually. They don't really need to know my
Yeah, I
name.
expected that.
No, in reality, it's only if like.
Hi, I like Inane. I'm also Frog, by the way.
Oh my goodness! I mean, realistically, it's actually only if they're like, "Oh, I play modded Minecraft," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, what kind of modded Minecraft do you play?" And they'll be like, say something, and I'll be like, "Oh, it's an end user." Oh God, no, just kidding.
True, that's true. That's true.
Oh
And
man.
then you pull out your machine gun, but instead of shooting bullets, it shoots rocks.
Oh my
And then-
goodness.
You know what happens next.
What is even going on this modcast?
Oh man.
Welcome to Just Enough Opinions.
Welcome to Just Enough Opinions.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I can't really say anything because the only two experiences I have with Inane is getting banned from the Enigmatica Discord for complaining, and also a great friend of mine, a member of this community. I think we've talked about him like 2 episodes ago. Big B, who's also the guy that introduced me to supersymmetry, and that led me to meet Kovri. That's the whole story. If you want to hear about that, go listen to episode 7. Should be out by then. I've met him on the Enigmatica Discord, as I mentioned then, and he had really dumb idea to speedrun Inane because he speedrun ESXi before with a couple of friends. I think they've beat it in like 2 days. So that was fun. And he asked me to host a server for him and his friends. And I did that. And then I waited around in Twilight Forest in spectator mode for like an hour before he said that, he's tipping and he's not gonna do it because he's
Oh
he's
my
without a shit.
God.
So that's the only experience I have with actually playing in any.
E90 is actually much more easy to speed run than E60, I think. There was a person who was
Yeah, I
able
think
to
he would
do
have
it
done
in...
it in like 1 day.
No, I think there was a person who was able to do it in like, let me see. I'm gonna look in the Discord. Might be in the pins.
Are you in the Enigmatica Discord?
I am
though?
in the Enigmatica Discord, and
Damn. You should become my spy. Leak.
yeah,
data from
I'll
them.
be your
They
spy.
don't
Let's see if they're
release it.
talking about you. Oh, GCat smells
probably-
like armpit.
You could probably search up my name on there and find not very great things.
Yeah, I probably no. Actually, there was a thing where somebody like got access to an admin's account and just got rid of all the messages. So
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. So probably there
What?
isn't much stuff left.
wait, you were there when that happened?
No,
I wasn't there when
not.
that happened, but yeah, if you're still
Oh,
listening, it's
okay.
probably-
You just
yeah.
heard about it. Okay.
I also just heard about it, yeah, because it was quite popular. Not popular, but a big story.
Yeah,
But
it was
that
a
happened.
happening.
I wrote like an announcement on MPD back when not MPD, on Modern Modpacks back when that happened.
I see. All right. Well, anyway, I think someone was able to beat it in like 10 hours or something. I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Takes
That's probably the same amount of time it would take me to do Bumble Zone legit.
That's probably the average time you spent on one pack.
The average time average time it takes me to listen to a Just Enough Opinions episode, including all the time I take to sleep. Bada bing. The joke is that I would be sleeping because of how bad the stuff is to listen to. That's my joke.
Awesome.
Anyway, the
talking about Modpack
wait a minute.
speedruns, I also have.
You have a thing? Okay.
Yeah, but I want to transition to another topic.
Oh, well, I was going to transition
say
to
something
not
else.
another topic first.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, basically, I was just going to talk about how, to me, the idea of like, starting, even just playing a mod pack, not necessarily being like trying to develop a mod pack. Oftentimes, and I guess, Tillies, you may or may not be able to agree or disagree or something. But oftentimes I feel like it's similar to starting a project because it usually takes a while, right? Especially with a progression pack. Yeah.
Definitely takes a while.
So it can be like
I'm gonna boot up E9E real quick and just see how many hours I have on my world.
Oh yeah, good idea. I would, but I know that would lag the shit out of my computer because I've
got a
stupid.
pretty powerful one, so
yeah, that's good. Anyway, no, I feel like
Enigmatica versus making performant mod packs is like the ultimate battle between piss and shit.
Oh my god.
That's that bit done. Okay, we can cross that off.
Oh goodness. I got a cough again.
Should we check off another one? Sodium versus Embedium drama next episode, for real.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, no, what was I saying? Goodness gracious. Oh yeah. I feel like, it's kind of like, again, kind of like starting a project where it's like, you don't always get to the end of it because you are, because you get distracted or time gets filled by other things. And then funny thing. So Age of Engineering, the 1.10.2 mod pack. I have a world that I started in either 2016 or 2017 that I brought from my computer a long time ago, and I still haven't finished it. Because I went to college and then fucked up going to college and started going to college again before I finished this goddamn 1.10.2 mod pack.
Nice.
And it's been 8 years.
For how much all the stuff, for how much commitment all the stuff takes in this community, there is a surprising amount of people with ADHD here. That's insane.
That's probably true, yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure it definitely was 2017, because I don't think it was there in 2016, Age of Engineering. Anyway.
Can I bring up Can I bring up a really weird thing I did in my first mod pack?
Yeah, sure.
Inexperience.
Yeah,
okay,
sure, go ahead.
So my first mod pack was, I think it was like some sort of space tech sort of mod pack.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know what weird thing? And I for some reason put both advanced rocketry and Galacticraft in it.
Nice.
At the same time, and I don't know why, it's just really weird.
That sounds like a thing that I might do when I was younger or something. I don't know.
I mean, as long as you can integrate the two, which you probably can't.
No, 2 rockets to take you 2 different moons.
I just finally loaded up E9E, and I have about I've almost almost 48 hours played. It's about like 40 hours. Just
Nice.
pretty good. It was a good pack for when I was playing it.
Yeah.
I got some pretty good. I got to like, where did I get to? I got to close to the end of chapter 2.
Yeah.
Before I realized I had to rebuild my base, and then I kind of quit after that.
Oh yeah, why'd you have to rebuild your base? I forget if you.
Nature's Aura.
Oh, Nature's Aura, yeah.
Nature's Aura is like Thaumcraft, but modern.
Is it?
In that regard.
It's
well, you know,
less. I find Thaumcraft way easier to manage than Nature's Aura.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So you're not one of those feed the memes users who goes.
I don't just dump a billion
throws...
items into a Crucible.
Oh my goodness.
I dump like 3, and one of them is the crafting ingredient. Because and then eventually I'm sometimes use Sanatoriums.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
48 hours that you spent in E9 is enough time to, I think, reach like LV and GTNH. So.
Yeah. GTNH.
Yeah.
I am never playing that pack.
I don't know if I'll play. I mean, maybe I should look at it once, but I don't know if I'll play GTNH either.
You should join Democracy Plays GTNH. You're already there. So.
Well,
Do you vote in the elections, Frog?
Do I vote in the elections? No. I don't fucking know this shit. Sorry, no.
Oh, parties suck. That's gonna sound really weird out of context.
It's gonna sound really...
It's finally time to talk about the thing I wanted to talk about. So I've mentioned, speedrunning E9E.
Yeah.
And that just brings me to a more general point about speedrunning stuff related to mod Minecraft in general, because I feel that like that's not that's a thing that we haven't explored as a community yet. I know there is a Great Tech New Horizons leaderboard on speedrun.com, and there is a Discord server for them. But that's about it. That's all we have so far. And I think that, since packs are basically games, as we discussed before, it might be fun to, set up a speedrunning scene for that.
I think
I've
the
been
main
trying to...
issue... Sorry, continue.
Yeah, go ahead if you want to.
I was just gonna say, I think the main issue is, like, it's generally, there's a lot of different packs, and there's a lot of time investment for most of the packs that are worth speed running, right? Because, like, you can speed run some random ass kitchen sink or whatever, but there's so many random ass kitchen sinks that you could try to speed run. It's like you don't really gain anything from it. And if you were to speed run a progression pack, then it's like it's one of those speedrunning games that it's like one of those ones that take like 100 hours or something to speed run as fast as possible, and people might not necessarily want to bother doing that. And even then, there's just there's so many of them where it's like, of course, GTNH is a standout one where it's like, even though that one's gonna take a long time, regardless, it's like, the it just stands out as a very famous pack. Whereas, what other pack are you gonna play? Enigmatica 2 Expert or something, maybe. But
that's
what I
want to say. That's also what I was thinking. Like, I was not talking about Kitchen Sinks packs. The Kitchen Sink packs. That'd
be a little goofy.
Yeah, because there aren't mod packs at the end of the day. Because we established that kitchen sink packs aren't packs. The people who make kitchen sink packs aren't people. The people who play kitchen sinks which kitchen sink packs aren't people. But as for progression packs, I think that we have a lot of games that are being speedrun that take approximately the exact same amount of time. Like, have you seen a Breath of the Wild 100% speedrun that takes like whatever 200 hours? I don't think that Enigmatica 2 Expert or whatever would take less than that.
Yeah, but
More
I'm
than that,
thinking
more than
like,
that.
How many people bother doing full 100% speed runs of Breath of the Wild compared to maybe like any percent, where it's presumably much smaller time investment? I don't know these things.
Well, I can see where you're coming from, but I think it's more, the type of game that is being speedrun, because Breath of the Wild does have a lot of 100% speedrunners, but Breath of the Wild is like the fifth best-selling game. I don't know, don't check me on this. No, check me on this. Don't trust me on this. It's probably like not the fifth most best-selling game of in history, whatever. I'm just saying that more people play Zelda Breath of the Wild than Great New Horizons. So that's probably what's stopping us from setting up something like that. But I still think that if people are interested in that, if they want to see that, and if they want to attempt that, they should probably set something up, set up maybe a Discord server or something that I can join, and watch some cool speedruns being attempted. I would totally be a part of that.
Unless it's an Enigmatica pack, because then you can't join that Discord.
Well, yeah, but if it's unofficial, then I can join and be an asshole and then get banned again. That's
all right.
That's my
What
plan.
is what would the mod pack equivalent to the Twilight Princess low percent speedrun be? The one where you're staring.
Oh, the one where Link stands in one place for like 200 hours.
Yes, that one. Staring at a rupee.
I think in GTNH there are like a lot of recipes that can be done in early game, but they would take an extremely long amount of time if done on LV machines. I think something like, I don't know, I think like Tinker's gear takes a long time to make on LV machines, so something like Tinker's ultimate pickaxe low percent, something like that would probably take quite a while.
Vanadium steel pickaxe low percent.
Nice.
Yeah. What I want to say is that I don't actually bring up this topic just out of nowhere. I actually have talked about this on the Wondrous Democracy Plays Age Discourse server before, and it was in the context of TASes. I'm more interested in seeing TASes beat Modpacks, because that would be fun, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The thing I suggested was Nomi Factory TAS. I think that's the best pack I can think of, at least right now, that would, if attempted by a TAS, would be the most fun to watch. And I've actually put a $20 bounty on it, so it's still in effect. So if any of the listeners want to attempt to make a Nomi Factory TAS that at least is able to get to a point where it can reliably go to the moon, I am actually willing to pay you money for that. So
All right.
Bring up one of my weirder pack dev projects that we talked a little bit on earlier.
Oh, ChatGPT makes pack, this one?
The ChatGPT makes a mod pack thing.
Yeah, go ahead, describe how the idea started.
I don't really know when it started. It was around May of 2024 that I first attempted to do it. And it was like I kind of restricted the AI a lot, and it never really ended up making any sort of pack. But later in 2024, like around October, I did it again. I could pull the chat up. I don't really know why it started, but it was kind of weird. But I can pull the chat up. Where's this? There, Modpack progression. So I've asked it to make a progression pack. Design a unique and interesting progression focused Minecraft mod pack, and it made something kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Where it basically had it used its mod list that it gave was for the first chapter was Botania and Tinker's Construct primarily, then Immersive Engineering and Forestry for the second chapter, then Twilight Forest Natural Sorcery for the third, and then Draconic Evolution Avaricia for the fourth. And it also
sounds like every pack ever.
It's quite generic. Here's the mods. But it also had Fire and Ice for some reason and Mystical Agriculture.
Wonderful.
Too. Yeah, the pack ended because it was back before I had a good computer, and basically I tried. I could not load chunks at a point. It just stopped wanting to load new chunks. And this is not an issue ChatGPT could really fix. Because I was trying to rely on ChatGPT for this pack as much as possible beyond scripting, because
like
very basic.
Like you were like, hey, how do I improve my performance?
Yeah, it was a bit of that. I probably asked a tiny bit on MPD about some of the other issues, but I kind of gave up after the chunks stopped loading.
It would be like, oh, install Optifine.
Install it, yeah, probably be like that. It also came up with
Point one, install Optifine. Point 2, delete .minecraft.
Yeah, it's like that. I got it to write every quest in the pack. Which it has there's at least one there's definitely a lot of incorrect knowledge in here. There's like it probably made 99% of this stuff up.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, let's see. So it did it's called the HRP Graphite, one of the most valuable ingots in the game, but it did say it's a multi-step process that starts with coke dust. So that's correct. Coke dust, putting coke in pressure, and using. Yeah, it does know how you make HRP Graphite, which is on where it had something up here. I'm not gonna bother looking through the chat for some weird inaccurate, but it's like really. When I was trying to get it to generate a pack, it had, in both times, it has produced at least 3 time travel related packs.
Nice.
I don't know why. Please, I'm just gonna ask, design an interesting Minecraft mod pack. I'm gonna ask it that.
That's very weird. I used to know a guy who was a great friend of Modern Modpacks, was the first partner ever, and was the second member to join after me. Not the organization, but just the Discord in general. I'm not gonna name drop him. He probably doesn't really want to be mentioned anymore. He quit the community by now. But he was also developing a pack, and I think he used a lot of ChatGPT for it, for most of the lore, the story, and I think he was also making a time travel related pack. So I think
it stopped generating a lot of it's generating. ChatGPT is generating. I'm just gonna see. It says that's how many generations it takes to get a time travel pack. It's how many
place your bets.
It says I'm on the 3rd. Oh, it totally took 3.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, or Chrono. Not actually. Probably not even like time. It might not be time travel. It's like more eras, but you travel forward in time. And it's generally kind of the similar thing.
True. Technically every pack is a time travel pack because you travel forward in time.
Yeah, it's just if it says TARDIS mod anywhere in here.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
it's Stormcraft on 1.20.1.
Nice.
Nice.
ChatGPT cannot design mod pack. The day
there
when
was
someday
Go
there's
ahead.
probably going to be ridiculous amounts of people of packs that are just someone goes on ChatGPT, tells it to design a mod pack. They put all the mods in. They get ChatGPT to write a description and make an AI image for the icon. They upload it to Curseforge. Repeat 1,000 times. Get banned.
Oh my goodness.
I think there was someone like that already. But they did with mods instead of mod packs.
The
Vanilla
ChatGPT
style.
cannot design a good mod pack.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what's a good thing that ChatGPT can design?
ChatGPT can design bad answers.
True,
Yeah.
that's a good thing it can design.
Just bad.
Kind of related. I just want to bring that up. I remembered a interesting bit of modded lore that I have. There was a recreation of Thumbcraft for 1.16, I think, which was at some point on Curseforge, but then I think it got taken down by Kof because Thumbcraft is proprietary.
There was this old mod that I really liked that was on like Tekkit 1.5. I think it was called Balcon's Weapons mod. And I don't know when, but at some point I was making a pack. I think I was kind of young around the time 1.7.10 was, the big version. And I was just like making a pack with 1.7.10, and I was like, I really want Balcon's weapon mod. And so I looked up like if it's on 1.7.10, and like somebody in the comment section of some website was like, here, and it was like a Mediafire link, and it like in the Mediafire link, it was just a working version of Balcon's weapon mod for 1.7.10, and
Oh shit!
I downloaded it and it wasn't there were no problems with it, as far as I know it.
You always trust Mediafire links.
Yeah,
They
you
never-
always trust Mediafire links from some random commenter on some shady website.
Yeah, and mega links as well. If you see a
Exactly.
mega link or a Mediafire link, yeah, that shit can be trusted. I will trust a mega link with my life.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, goodness great. Should we pull out the funny machine? I had some things that I was thinking about for speed running.
It's about time.
Yeah.
If neither of us has any.
I certainly
questions
have
that
some
activities.
some weird old pack lore. If
if you wanna tell some stories about that, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna say like 6 words here, real quick. Outer Limits, Worlds Beyond the Stars.
Yeah.
Sure.
That whole pack is just that is probably the like if there's such a thing as an iconic Tilly's pack, that is probably it. It falls into it's okay. It not only has that like classic early game that 99% of my packs have. It has it's a space pack. It's a tech pack. It probably was gonna have at least I don't know if it's actually gonna have I don't know. It's been over a year since I worked on it. It was weird. It also was the origin of Suit Guy.
Suit Guy.
Suit Guy is thing. Yeah, you should talk about that.
I need to see if I can get an image, the stock image I use for Suit Guy into where into behind into like onto the screen. I don't know. I it's just it's
Yeah,
just a really weird
sensible.
image for stock. Yeah.
Basically, if you want to tell the story of how that meme appeared,
I don't know how to. I found the stock image, and I was making a quote unquote trailer, more just like revealing what the pack was about, and the same thing that could be done in like I don't know, maybe like in like one short Discord message. It had lore with canon creative items.
Oh my goodness.
I
Nice.
don't know why.
That's not that bad. I mean, FA has that.
Basically, like it was really it had Suit Guy who for some reason because used ChatGPT to make the Minecraft News Channel 74 script, which was full of inaccuracies to the actual pack.
Nice.
Because ChatGPT does not. Because ChatGPT was just probably provided with the name of the pack. I don't have the original prompt anymore, sadly. It was really weird. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure a lot of like the newer Suit Guy scripts from there's definitely a good amount of them that were written by me. And like the newer ones were I think they're okay. How many Suit Guy videos were there? Let me go check.
I don't even know if I was paying attention.
Let me go check how many Suit Guy videos there were.
I don't know if I was paying attention when the Suit Guy videos existed. GCat's being totally distracted right now.
Yeah, I am. I'm extremely happy that we finally got approved for BlanketCon. That's a recurrent segment you're going to see. You're going to hear about throughout the course of the next episodes.
Okay, so there's so there were a total of there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 on that channel, and there were like there's a total of like 5 Suit Guy videos that I think at least the later 3 had all of their like stuff written by me. And there's
Nice.
I think yeah. I don't know if Suit Guy's gonna make a return though for any of my future projects.
I mean, it is the mascot of your projects, I guess, because he is on the profile picture of your new Discord server.
Yeah, he is on. It's only temporary until I get an actual server icon made.
Well,
yeah, but
I was gonna say you can use whatever as your server icon, but then I was thinking, well, our server icon is kind of cool because GCat made it.
It is actually really cool.
Yeah, if I were to have a server icon, it would probably be like this emoji guy. I'm just gonna send it here.
I should make that the server icon.
I freaking remembered. I think I said an MPD just an offhand quote. I just sent.
Feel free to bring out the funny machine because I don't really have. There's like probably some really. There's probably a bit of like old.
Let me finish up my little dialogue here, my little monologue here first. I remember I said in PD once that there's this guy that's on Twitter that's like, here's how you would look like if you were either black or Chinese.
Oh,
what if there was like a guy that would go like around and edit pictures of different people, and he would go like, here's how you would look like if you were an emoji guy.
Here's what you should look like if you were an emoji guy.
How did your name come about, Tilis? How did you come up with
really, really weird. I'm gonna give the simple version. Star Wars, Wedge and Tilly's, cut off the wedge, Tilly's. There.
Nice.
That's the simple version. And I actually have
cool.
the actual Tilly's Minecraft account, so I
that's
don't
cool.
have. So it's not.
Oh, that probably costs a lot nowadays. Was
And
it
I'm
like
not
6
selling it.
letters?
Yeah,
6 letters.
I got it around like when 1.8 was out. Kind of impressive that it wasn't taken yet.
I know like 2 things about Star Wars. I know the Star and I know the Wars.
That was a good one.
Thanks.
I've like the only, I've been hearing a lot about Star Wars recently for some reason. I don't know how, this is not relevant at all to modded Minecraft, but I watched like a Scott DeVos video recently about Lego games, and he discussed like Star Wars a bunch. And
Lego Star
that's
Wars
a good video.
Lego Star Wars is peak.
I've heard that.
It is, from what I've heard, it is. Yeah.
I
Well, the complete saga, I think there was a couple.
I have played the complete saga. It is amazing.
God damn it.
There's also like a new one that covers all 9 chapters, which is like mid.
I have not played that
so that's-
one, just the complete saga.
So while I pull up the funny machine, I guess I have like a random topic listed out here that I think would be fun
Wait a
for
minute.
our listeners.
I had
to
another
hear about.
another question though, actually, regarding Tilly's. Tilly's as in the name. So in MPD, you are Tilly's and Bits, right?
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a fun
The
story.
mod
That's a fun story
Little
that's I'm a part
Tiles
of.
and the mods Little Tiles and Chisel and Bits and Quantum. Chronodynamic.
No, that was me. I think that was me. I think I
think it was
first
Quantum.
joked about.
It was one of you, but
I don't know.
it caused
Maybe both of us.
but it caused me to change my name multiple times. I got it the and Bits is just stuck. For a while it was Tilly's and Poles.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I have an addiction to making poll, and I used to have an addiction to making polls because they help me actually make decisions.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough. I'm reading the chat of the recording section, and time to talk.
Yeah.
I am not talking about the poll.
Nice.
The thing that sucks about this podcast, the only thing that I dislike about this podcast is that the people in chat are just too funny, and when you read the fucking message, you have to say their name so that the editor would then, not forget to screenshot the message and put it up on screen. So yeah, slime me outside that. Slime me, I don't know.
Just but yeah, the listen, but I basically just use I basically just use it as like my username on the server on MPD. It's just stuck, and I like it.
Nice. So it's kind of relevant to polls. While I pull up the funny machine, can you just tell our dear listeners about the very fun story of the purple square?
The purple square. Okay. So back before Discord had a poll feature, I used to use emoji. I used to have polls where I use emojis, and at one point, someone purple squared a poll, and that kind of just started happening. I think at one point there was like a poll where I kept having to add new options because someone just kept reacting with new different emojis.
Yeah, so basically purple square doesn't like mean anything, and
Purple
didn't mean
square
anything, and yeah.
Yeah, purple square just kind of became just became a thing that happens.
Yeah.
It was and I hope it stays alive for it stays a thing for as long as I'm making polls.
Yeah, purple square is kind of a nice meme that we have. I like it as well.
Purple square, it just
polls with purple squares, even though we have like actual polls nowadays.
We have actual polls nowadays. Just purple square is better. Reactive purple square is great.
So I think it's time to pull up the funny machine.
Yes.
It's the funny
So the
machine
funny
time.
machine
We
is a
should, like-
machine that makes
should-
you laugh and dance and have a jolly good time.
Sort of like that, yeah. But like the inverse of that.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I thought it was the machine
What I
that
was
brings
saying-
up question of the days from Minecraft pack development.
Oh, yeah.
That's
No,
exactly
that's what it does.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we should like ask someone to do like a thing we can put like a jingle we can put before
jingle?
the funny machine section.
You know,
The- yeah,
actually,
before the funny
we
machine
officially
section.
voted. We officially voted. We used a poll to vote on the official JEO theme, and
It was kind of rigged, but at the same time it wasn't.
yeah, but it it's I bet the editor in the video, the YouTube video or the whatever, the editor can put in the track. The amazing, it's music that I made myself. I'm very proud of it.
It's called
And-
Enjoy Beauty.
It's called Enjoy Beauty. It's great.
It's good.
Anyway, so since it's the official Tilly's episode, I guess I'm going to leave it up to you guys to elect through polling whether we do a random question or the I can start from the top, from the oldest questions,
I
That's gonna be
vote
nasty.
random question.
like we did last time.
I vote random question.
So it's from the 24th of March 2024, about, actually 364 days, I believe, from the recording date. That's fun. So basically 1 year, except for 1 day. You get it. Shift Logan asks, what makes a good crafting mechanic? Does this differ between player and developer? So this is another end user versus modpack developer question.
I like it when they're automatable.
Yeah,
That's true, yeah.
I think
I like when recipes are automatable, even if the pack is sort of more magic themed rather than tech themed, because automation, the ability to automate recipes inside of a tech pack is kind of a given, but inside of magic mod themed packs, they're usually more manual, and I like when magic can be automated.
I think
Yeah.
what makes a good crafting mechanic is it needs to take exorbitantly long and it needs to have a high failure chance.
Based,
And
Pyro attack.
extremely based.
oh my god.
Just make more of the
Um,
thing. That's the solution to that. Just parallel.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Paralyze it.
I mean, you
100
can make
like,
more
yeah,
of
it's
it,
like,
but you can
you
also
know-
be like, why did the developer
It's
keep
like-
this piece of shit ass crafting mechanic in?
No, it's like traffic, if we just add one more lane, everything will be fixed. And here, if we just add
If
one
we
more
just
machine,
add a billion,
everything will be
if we just
fixed.
add like 16 more, 15 more of the machine, then it will work.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it will
Right?
be fixed. Yeah.
That 15 more of the machine takes longer to make than it takes to get the item.
True, true. Um,
Um,
I like
personally-
when. Yeah, go ahead.
I enjoy when like the mod, if the crafting mechanic is at all like weird, like let's say Stormcraft's Crucible, the mod gives you all the tools you need to automate it.
Hmm.
Specifically, like even if it's like not specifically needed, like it's just like a tool that like just useful stuff to make it easier in general. That's fun. It's fun when that happens. Yeah.
I like when recipes are creative. I like when that more applies to crafting types rather than recipes themselves. But I like when there are multi-blocks. I like multi-blocks.
Multi-blocks
think
are
that's-
fun. They can, especially when
Yeah.
they look cool.
I think there is a person on MPD who goes by the name of Uni. You probably know him. Her. I'm so sorry. I've we've mentioned her before. Who would probably disagree with me, but my opinion is the only right one. So multi-blocks are good, actually.
I think. I feel like other than the craft mechanics that take a long time and have a high failure chance, I don't really care. They're all kind of cool to me, even if they're boring.
True.
Especially if you can just make a bunch of different ones and do whatever you want with them.
I like repurposing mods crafting mechanics sometimes.
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely. One of the examples that I usually come up with is in Create Above and Beyond, the trading station is literally just the what's it called? The multi-servo press.
Oh,
but
it's the
retextured.
Monster Press. Yeah. That's a based thing. I really like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
I have
I
on multiple
Come back to
occasions
my
removed all the recipes from a crafting mechanic so I can just have the mechanic.
Yeah.
It's always fun to do that.
I want to mention that Create About Me was just, fuming with those great, crafting recipes, very creative ones. As we discussed, I think last time, the math thing is also kind of cool at the end game where you are supposed to get all the numbers. Yeah. But I guess it goes to show that, sometimes it might be a good idea to look at different machines as their inputs and their outputs rather than what they are in terms of,
one example of that is E9E taking the induction smelter and turning it into the Aura Forge.
Yeah.
Which is something I want to personally do something similar to, because I like machines that let you make components.
Yeah.
Those are fun, because
Nice.
I don't want to make my Tier 78 super quantum hyper circuits in a crafting table.
Yeah, that's fair.
I want to make them in a ultra high voltage assembler.
Ultra super gamer power item block.com.
And Knuckles.
With chicken.
And Knuckles. Featuring Dante from The Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Plus.
Wait, where's that Among Us Skyblock?
Among Us Skyblock. Damn, we should have talked about that.
Oh yeah, Among Us Skyblock
Okay,
Ultimate Retro Expert 2 Extended Remastered Anarchy Completion Community Edition and Knuckles featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Nice.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's. We have whatever 5 minutes left. Let's stop Let's, for the first time in the Just Enough Opinions history, we are coming back to the random discussion after pulling up the funny machine. We're pulling down the funny machine, and we're going to as an extra for the listeners that have made to this point, we're going to discuss what Among Us Skyblock was, because that was a funny story that I want to sort of mention to people.
Among Us Skyblock.
To more people. I don't think you were a part of MPD back when that was going on.
I don't think I was.
So basically, there was a fun event idea that we never went through because we got a lot of disagreements, and most of them were, I think, caused by Uni. Again, for some reason, this is like the Uni special. Bringing her up, but that doesn't matter. I think I don't know who was the first one to come up with the idea. I think what came first was the image. It's just like a funny image with like an Among Us drone. If Ezra can find that, it would be nice if he could put that on screen right now. It's like a drone Among Us, and it says like Tile said, it's like Among Us Skyblock to Electric Boogaloo and
Among
Knuckles
Us.
feature.
I have to actually read it off whenever I want to say it, which is sad.
Well, that doesn't really matter. The image is funny. The editor will find it, and you can read it for yourself because it's on screen right now. But that I kind of when I saw that image, I remembered a great video I watched on YouTube by a YouTuber I really like. He's called Whalefisk. If you never watched him, you should probably go and do so because he has really fun content about different stuff. But he had this really fun video where he got like a bunch of friends to play Satisfactory with him, and he randomly assigned roles of crewmates and imposters to to people, and the crewmates were supposed to progress through the game, whereas the imposters were supposed to, throw the progress. And if they didn't reach a point in the game, in the progression of the game, by I think a 2-hour mark, then the imposters would win. Whereas if they did reach that point in progression or kicked all of the imposters out, the crewmates would win. And that's kind of an adoption of, how Amogus works. So Satisfactory.
So you were gonna have it Among Us
yeah.
Skyblock, except it would be like the politics of the Greg Tech thing, where that guy came in and blew up that boiler.
That's sort of it.
I can see myself if I got imposter and it was a Greg Tech pack, breaking the water source for the steam boilers.
Oh my goodness.
Because that would, or hiding wait, if boilers are cheap enough, I'll just use them as explosives. You put coal in, they heat up, you can get out of there, and they can destroy a bunch of machines.
Yeah, that's what they did in, I think,
Practically
the
Among Us
movie.
reactor sabotage on the Skeld.
Mm.
Especially if you can get rid of enough machines that it basically becomes unwinnable for the crewmates.
Yeah, and basically the concept, I quite quickly connected the two, the funny image and the video I watched, and the concept arrived to me of doing the same thing, but instead of Satisfactory, it would be some Minecraft Modpack. And we've quickly set up a Discord server and started discussing the general idea, and I still think it would be fun if hosted, but some people for some reason disagreed with me and started throwing bullshit around, like, what if they do this and that. I don't remember what the general complaints were.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think it would definitely be fun if it were hosted. Also, it's kind of weird that Tilda packs have never been brought up in this episode.
Oh yeah, what was
I had it in the topics section, but it's not really.
I don't know anything about it.
But if you want to talk about, go ahead.
It was a small pack dev group.
Oh, we're out of time. No, sorry, just kidding.
It's fine. It's fine. So I just like it existed.
Go ahead.
It kind of existed for a while. Originally was just me and Uni. And then it survived for like a long time on mostly technicalities. The server existed for a while. The group itself, I don't really know when the server's gone, so I don't really know when the timeline of everything. But if in another Void world, I have the Tilda era, the Tilda age of like my control answer, like my random Tilly's Pack TM timeline. And that had like all the stuff that kind of went down in during the general time when Tilda was a thing.
Oh yeah, maybe I should read that.
Including not shown here in the thing, some lore for some random Tilly's lore that is probably gonna be exclusive to this podcast now.
Ooh.
Outer Limits Worlds Beyond the Stars had a temporary remake for a week that never did anything.
Holy shit.
Nice.
That's my favorite Tilly's pack.
It was I think it's probably the most iconic Tilly's pack out of every single one of them. It was
Yeah,
far enough in.
FA at some point, I think Futuristic Astronomy at some point had a reference to that.
You should
Actually, I
bring
think
that
with
splash text back as a joke.
I might. Yeah,
Like,
I might.
there's never gonna be an Outer Limits Worlds Beyond the Stars, but that's the thing. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, that will be
But yeah,
So I think we should wrap this thing up now.
All right.
Unless someone has anything else to say. All right, I guess not.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, sure.
yeah.
right?
I have that. There's a Discord I have a Discord that was mentioned like once earlier, and it's gonna be where
Oh
like
yeah. I was about to say
yeah,
tell us.
a lot of my
Tillis. I'm sorry.
Tilly's.
Tillis.
It's going to be it's
I'm so tired.
it's going to I'm going to I'm going to probably talk about future projects there when I am done being addicted to Hypixel Skyblock and actually decide to pack them again.
Mm.
And
Yeah, so Tillis, if you want to, I usually just, before someone starts shilling themselves, I usually, say about a couple of words. Tillis, if you want to, shill out your stuff and, put up your social media, if you want our editor to put up your social media on screen, tell him to do that right now.
I don't really have any social media beyond Discord, and yeah, but I don't really know how to do. I want to plug Discord link or what in here. I don't know really how to do that.
Oh
yeah, just we'll put it in the description.
Yeah, put it in the description. I'll just drop it in the. I'll just drop it in. Is it fine if I drop it in the general chat?
No, just kidding. Sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll just drop the link in the general chat.
Frog is being evil today.
Yeah.
Yeah, just if you're interested, if any of my weird pack dev stuff sounds at all interesting, I would suggest joining it and then muting it for like a while and then checking in on it every once in a while to see if I actually decide to pack dev again.
Yeah.
Which I hope to do in the near future because I have some ideas.
Oh yeah.
And what I want to do.
Yeah.
Nice.
But just I have terrible time management and I'm trying to do like multiple different things at once.
Time management is very difficult.
So I have to. So eventually I will make. I eventually will fire up the project at some point, and it will be cool for until either it's released or it gets goes the way of Outer Limits Worlds Beyond the Stars.
Yeah.
All right. So there you have it, folks. Go ahead, join the Discord link in the description if you want to see more Tillis packs. If you want to if you are interested in another session of Amogus Skyblock, hit us up. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for listening.
I will be in fact hitting you up about Amogus Skyblock.
All right.
Nice. Frog, do you want to join? Do you want to join?
Do I want to do what?
Skyblock if it ever happens again. Do you want to join Amogus Skyblock if it ever, becomes a thing?
If it ever becomes a thing, maybe. I'm not good at those types of games. They give me anxiety.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. Come back next week when we discuss the what will we discuss, Frog?
Jack Black's opinion on the sodium and barium drama.
Yeah, and how our great friends, Gisex and Empreg are
Oh my goodness.
Back at it again, writing the blog posts.
Yes.
Also, how my parents' marriage is falling apart, and maybe our, listeners will suggest some, advice for that. That was a joke, by the way.
What?
I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about, Chiquette.
I made a joke. I made a. What do you mean? I'm already deaf. I'm mega cubed.
Okay.
I am so tired. Anyway, that was a funny joke that I made that nobody understood.
Yeah, I didn't understand
that
it.
sucks. Well, I made a joke saying that I'm like.
Oh, you don't have to explain it. Then it won't be
my
funny
parents
anymore.
are getting you. Yeah, but at least I'll get my portion. At least I'll get at least I get to redeem myself. Basically, I said, my parents are getting divorced, and what if we discuss that on the next episode, just enough opinions, because that's totally not related to modded Minecraft, and haha, that will be funny. Like, divorce is funny because, I don't know, because internet made it funny.
All right.
Do you get it now?
Yeah. I mean, I I don't know. Okay, whatever.
Jack Black, penis, PSMC, sodium and barium drop.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Sodium
listening.
video drop.
See you next. Sodium and barium drop. See you next time.
Yes.
I'm
Goodbye.
so tired. Goodbye.
Goodbye.